They see each other as inseparable. We can't throw each other away. I fear that this life is hard to come by. Unfortunately, he still has work to do. Right now, most likely, the hands turned and left. Now everyone's wounds are fully healed. So let's say goodbye. Accepted 77 soulmates. Words just came out. Immediately make to people. Thank heaven and stop startled incense. Both of you can't see the worst. They just went through life and death together. It's not that we should continue to stand together. After all, he said that at this moment. Most likely, they didn't say anything. To meditate for a while. Then he shook his head and said, I'm sorry. Is that we have to leave. Thank heaven, Yang. We can't take the kids out of the city. So help me take her away. Tell me where you want to go. Stop hurriedly speaking up. Most probably not hiding it. Say directly where he wants to go to the third sector. The two of you are terrified again. It's extremely dangerous. To even the celestial masters. I dare not set foot either. This guy told him he wanted to go in. Sorry, or ask it first. It wasn't because he was 7 years old that he got in there. Why do you still want to go there? Probably silent for a while. He finally said his purpose. Not hiding you anymore. The third area is our target this time. At first I let you go with me. In fact, they just want to take advantage of you. He wants to take them as bait. Thank heaven, and Yang was angry. You see us as bait. You must be a bastard. Most people know where it is dangerous. With their power to get there, something will definitely happen. So it's still separate. Then he coldly said no. So if you don't want to die unjustly, then leave immediately, as far away from us as possible. When he finished, he immediately turned and left. But right now. Then he stopped and smiled and said, wait a minute. For great CA. If you don't mind taking me with you. Even as a decoy. As long as I can help you, I am content. I can hear you coming in a hurry. Stop, he's not trustworthy. But he hasn't finished yet. Most likely, he spoke coldly immediately. Looking forward to the interview. Even if I took advantage of you, you still want to help me. I am most likely to hear her talk and then get excited. Take a look at her. Is this head really stupid or too honest? He took advantage of her at the time. She almost died. But now she still believes in him. Want to help? Why? Life before this life. He kept his way of working unintentionally. But until now, she was the first to do anything for him. Think about here. I can't help but have warm water flowing through me. She looked at him with gentle eyes. Hold the strongest hand and sincerely say, previously, the whole city. No one will help me. I'm sure the CAA will help. We can get Kim SA from the devil's hand. And still survive. It's all because of your strategy and your intentions. Probably CA. It's not that we're supposed to be together or sao. Thank God for watching the sincerity of the children. Also touched to think, came before in birth and death together. He's finally coming. Put your hands on the two best hands. Most likely, look at your actions. They shook their heads reluctantly. You want to come too? Thank God that's right. I am going because I am afraid of being sold by you. Don't get me wrong. Maybe you can laugh for an hour with your mind. Maybe even you can sell it. What do you say? Ha ha ha, just kidding. A loud end. It means BA. They're together again. On the hard road ahead. There's only one difference. Most people are really open to seeing them as soulmates. Birth and death Chi Jiao. There is no bridge. Thousands of animals Sunvang District BA. The dense trees cover the sky. There are ferocious beasts everywhere. Right in the little grasses that are constantly swaying. 3 of the most likely people are on the ground. Crawl away to avoid the evil beasts here. Even though they used to hide. But if you're discovered by the animals here, they seem to be finished. You can only use this method to enter. Progress for half a day. The sky is dying. Thank heaven Yang finally can't stand it anymore. Give up and get off the ground. You can always crawl like that before you get there. The cow is not too disgraced. More, it's not easy to meet a 5th level beast. Most likely, he sat up in anger. Stupid, lie down. If you meet me, you are finished. I don't care if you scold me. What does the mouth have to do with it? This place is densely wooded. How can the animals see us? Yeah. His voice just ended. There was an immediate loud roar in the sky. The trees fell at the same time. The huge body of a black bear immediately appeared. The courage and majesty made 3 people afraid. God is afraid to lie down. The most likely person to see it shouted. It's a level for monster. But right now, I can't wait for the black bear to attack. There appeared a giant snake. Right after that, I can't believe I heard a scream. The bear became a meal for the serpents. Probably the most terrifying. Keep your eyes on the serpent. He quickly turned to the 2 men. 5th level beast diamond milkweed, go quickly. The leader continued slowly to crawl forward. The 2 men were also in a hurry to chase him. At this moment, the sky is silently regretting. He must have had his head kicked. Just agreed to this place. I can't believe my damn voice. He must have been hit by a donkey. So I can agree follow you to this hellish place. Most likely, he laughed for an hour. I don't need you to come. Otherwise, the old way people leave. Hear this word. I turned to look back a little. The sky is dark now. It's the time of the hunt. Now he's back as if finished. Thinking, he rolled his eyes. Probably the most. The old man on your enemy ship has gone so far. I want to kick me down now. You obviously want to die. Hear this word. Most likely, the mirror stops, glancing at each other. I can't help but laugh for an hour. Once again, 3 people. They're still on the ground. Silently advancing into the 3rd sector. Except 78 cartoon animals. 1 month later. The 3 surest people in the world were able to go deep into the little animals come. However, there will be a level 6 beast. Mascot level 6. It is considered a royal in the mountains. The lower level beasts will not dare to enter their territory. Thank heaven Yang carefully stooped towards the surest side of the whisper. Can this place stand up? Most likely, he nodded casually. Initially crawled forward, for fear that the majority of the animals would see. There are too many eyes and ears. But this place is the territory of a level 6 beast. Stand up and hide. It's as good for us as lying down. Thank God for listening, so please stand up and laugh. This place is much safer than before. You can say that. But if you meet a level 6 beast, then we'll die faster. Most likely I heard him say these to safe words. He laughed and said, "End words." The smile on the angel's face immediately disappeared. Face appeared. Rhea angrily said, "If a level 6 beast was that scary, what are you looking for? It's a sure thing." I am most likely to hear this word. Can only reluctantly shake his head and refuse to give an opinion. Of course he knows that level 6 is dangerous. If you decide to go to this place, he must have taken measures to capture the beast. There is blood in his hands. Just put it in your body and drag it. Recovery is only a matter of time. Real. How to get silkworm blood into your body. It's really a problem to solve. Suddenly now, a rumbling sound echoed through the forest. The ground never stops moving. 3 people look at each other. Can't help but panic. Caused such a big movement. It must be that the high-level beast is fighting a war. Screaming terror is a level 6 beast. Most likely, look in the direction of the sound. Rush towards that place and run away. Thank heaven and Yang behind. I want to go into that fight. Speak up to prevent. You really want to go. I was caught by 2 animals. The bones are not intact. But most probably the world doesn't stop. 1 squirt forward. Local. It makes a sound very similar to that of the mystic. Only he can move very quietly. This is the type of person you need to find. So he's not afraid either. The snow saw him run away. They don't care about danger. They chase after you. I look at the 2 people in front of me. The surgeon sighed for an hour. Then also lift your legs, follow behind. A moment later 3 people. They were able to find 2 level 6 monsters. Fighting in the air. Great flames and thunder in waves. Each attack on each other. If you're really unlucky to get caught up in them, it is death, not entirely. 3 people find a safe place. They can see and not be seen by them. Hide behind and monitor the situation. Probably the most. Look at the purple bird in front of you. Silently excited, strident. The mystics say no wrong. It's really the lair of the barbarians in this place. Looking up at the sky again. Most likely, he squinted at the black beast. Muscular body, are aggressively spraying the flames. The Lord had a little thought. The beast in front of you is a level 6 beast. Chain Inflammation Master King, although in level 6, but its power. It was comparable to a level 7 beast. If it continues like this, the Lord will surely fail. The battle was later swallowed up by the Kier lion. His plan to capture the Baron. They will definitely lose 7. He must think of a way to help her safely out of this battle. Stand on the side watching the chaos. Like discovering something. Turn your eyes to the most powerful voice. You can think of a solution. Can you help the bird? He would rather be beaten than leave. He wants to protect his child. I have to blink at a mother. To protect your child and seek death. What a pity. Father, please save them, will you? I just took the most sure word and was immediately amazed. Keep your eyes on the war. Just as the weather stops. Behind the trident actually has a nest of its eggs. Very quickly in his mind came a plan. At this time, thank heaven, listen to condensed perfume. I want to be sure to join the fight. Immediately shout out stop high. Fight between level 6 beasts. We can't get our hands on it. We don't need to talk about their power first. You basically can't participate. It's just about fighting. Death among the animals. Not just single. It's simply biting and swallowing between animals. It's about status and territory. Such a war. Even if it's placed between humans. There will be no right or wrong. And there must be poor people. We don't have to risk our lives for them. The wind stopped and trembled after hearing it. There were a few tears on her face. I see it protecting my child. There is no way not to think. Everyone in the world always protects me. Sorry tracked ICA theme duong CACA. I'm excited. At this moment, he was quietly observing the situation. It is the worst. Speak up again, don't worry. See tracked ICA, how to help this bird out of trouble. To accept 79 robbing evidence. Words just came out. Two people, thank heaven, and Yang immediately stopped suddenly incense. Take his knowledge with this person. He really doesn't think. I really feel for the bird. Goddess people looked at him mocking. Wei Juntung, since when have you been so kind? Most likely laughing and laughing with him. Thank heaven. You don't understand me, actually. He is a very loving person. Wait a minute, I have to ask you to support me. When I heard him, I immediately smirked. If you have love, the old man is a saint. He suddenly remembered the purpose of the most powerful. Enter the third area. Thank heaven, and Yang immediately transparent horrified shouted. Wait! Maybe your goal is to pull that trigger. Haha, stay with me for a while. It didn't light up much. The best laugh said. I hear your assertion. The sun was immediately angry. Turn around for an hour. The enemy wants to take advantage of me. You want to capture the Kier. They make me not go. Most likely, he didn't care to shrug. I know this person has a soft mouth. He also knows his weaknesses. Of course, there's a way to manage him. Then he turned his head to stop thinking. Where the sky doesn't look. One wink. Very quickly, like to stop the incense, immediately understand the nod. Then she came to the sky. Eyes pleading. Lay his arm theme duong CACA. You go with the CA. The bird and its two deaths are pathetic. Know how much? She said. She looked at him with glittering eyes. Thank God for listening to you. Looking at the barbarians in the sky. She said, "It's pathetic, but it doesn't pity the CA. This is him a little. With their fighting power. Want to join the war. I don't know if the devil is good. Take the evidence of Lord Keir. It's impossible. No more than to look into the prayerful eyes of the incense. He still owes her love." Very quickly the doctor bowed his head in agreement. "Okay, let's go. You have to be a little careful for me. If you dare to sell me, the Lord will not ignore you. He is the most likely to be heard from here," said with a smile. "Don't worry, what kind of person am I? If you have to sell it, it will sell very well. They don't give you a chance for revenge. What is most likely to see him ruffled? I don't want to poke him anymore." "Put your hand on his shoulder," he said. "Don't worry, I won't abuse you. Fish, find a safe place to hide first. Don't let those two animals find you. We'll be back for a while." The two most likely to be on a flight path, near where the two animals are fighting. Fortunately there is a hidden net, so they weren't discovered either. As soon as they got close to them, they immediately felt the pressure from the battle of two level 6 great beasts. It's not trivial, of course. In the sky, the lightning and the fire attacked each other, form a black patch in the sky. "Lord, look at the scene in front of you." Then I turned to look the most certain and said next, "What should we do?" Most probably there was a book. When he asked, he honestly answered, "The Lord has not paid attention to this place. We're surreptitiously turning over evidence. Wait until it finds out it's lost its egg. I will no longer fight with the lion. He will rush to find his son. Based on its speed, the Keir lion won't catch up like that. I could have saved it. So that's a good idea. Thank God I heard your plan. I can't help but feel for an hour. Up. Let's move this ostrich's nest together. Come on. The surest word in the world. Together to sneak into the territory behind the barbarian, and take it away together without being detected. When they thought they had succeeded, on the way back, then suddenly the king stopped attacking. Take the baron a few steps back. Keep your eyes on them. It immediately attacked the two of you. To detect danger. Most probably the whole business is not okay. That animal spotted us and ran away. But also this testimony that Heaven Yang hurriedly said. What do you need eggs for? Throw them all away. Most people do not pay attention to the sky. Not say 2 words, just throw the egg out. The egg fell to the ground in the blink of an eye. It's all over the place, but luckily, it's a mascot egg, so it's not broken. Suddenly now, a fireball of the King of Chains. I spit on those eggs. Made the Baron cry out in fear. Immediately rushed towards it. Use self-restraint to protect your child. Except 80. The Baron suffered a blow from this chain of inflammation. Immediately weakened severely, fall to the ground. Look at this scene. Most likely, I can't help but applaud. The king's chain of inflammation is so treacherous. It knows the speed of the barbarian is very fast. If it attacks the front, it can't hit. So it turns towards the eggs. I can't move here. The Lord will risk his own protection. Injury is beyond doubt. The enemy must hit the key first. That's a good book. At this time, the King of Fire attacked. Again towards the barbarian. A great fire came immediately. The weight loss is now weak, but it can still be sustained. It sends out a lightning bolt towards the flame. They are coming directly to stop the fire. See this situation, probably the most immediately with the two of you. Retreat to the side of the cliff. Sound and echoing sound. The forest in front of me is not intact. To get to a safe place. The worst of all sighed with regret. That's it, we're back. With the current situation, only speed up the defeat of the Baron. It's faster. He plans to help drag the Baron back then. Catch it as planned. Unfortunately, it was not as expected. Now helping it becomes harming it. The Earl's plan to capture him was almost abandoned. Most probably no. I stopped feeling compassion with the Strident. But in this situation, even he can't do anything. It doesn't help if you feel sorry. You can't risk your life for a bird. Then he came to hold her hand and said, "If you wait, the Baron is dead. Then that lion will come looking for us to cause trouble." But the snow stopped, and it was still. Keep your eyes on the barbarian. It reminds her of the old story. She remembered her gentle mother. Always protect her. And before death, I told her to take good care of herself. Don't leave yourself alone. Even when you die, you only think about her. Unfortunately, she is no longer there. So when you look at the barbarian, trying to protect her child, she was born with compassion. Look at the shape of a desire to help stop the child. The worst of all is no longer patient. The cold voice stopped. We are in this place. It doesn't solve any problems. But at the best of times, people are not alert. She jumped in front of the barricade. Without any fear, under the attack of the king's chain inflammation. However, with her power to take one blow at the end of life. Thank God that one side saw her. Immediately jump out. Stand in front of her. Most likely, I watched the two of them go out and die. In the heart of a foolish scolding. But also quickly out. Most likely, the former emperor. Always living in people's false respect. So he's always used to being alone. I've never been ruled by emotion. Since I met the two of them. Go through life and death together. Everything is different now. Neither one of them wanted to give up. He is the queen. Even if you die, you have to face the enemy. Accept 81 bars of divine inflammation. The king looked at the three people in front of him. He wants to use his body to stop the fire. I laughed coldly, not knowing how to measure myself. Sharp claws. He rushed towards the three surest mortals full of murder. But, as soon as the king's body came in front of him, the worst part is a light source. It covers all the animals. Coming out of his forehead, to make fear. Immediately recover attack, quickly run away. Who can trust the gods? Level 6 animals at the mountain range can be afraid. A human being. Look at the animal in front of you and run away. When facing it, probably from the eyes, it can see. I spread a blue flame on my forehead. It saw fear. He gently raised his hand to the middle of his forehead. You're clinging to your forehead and it's still warm. But the green fire is no more. Remember to. The mystic here touched his forehead in a dream. Not out of doubt. After all, he left something behind. Why again? It can make level 6 monsters look like inflammatory chains. The king was afraid to run away. At the same time, the sky behind me is just as amazing. What else does the person in front of you have? Before he used the power of the gas condenser. Forced celestial perspective. Learn to knit again. Know how to lay out the French. He thought that. That's the best part of this guy. But look. Now he can radiate the pressure again. Even the animals are afraid. He had reason to suspect that this man was not a man. I thought he came next to me. Probably the best way to move around. You are now telling me. Are you finally human? Most likely, his hands were out of the cold for an hour. The old man is of course a man. Probably the devil. Look at what's in front of you. A man can do it. Take a deep breath. Calm down and scream. But we've never seen. Can anyone use an eye? You scared a level 6 monster to run. Did you see it before? The look of that lion. I saw you running away. It's like being afraid you'll eat it. Be honest. Finally, how many secrets are you hiding from us? Probably most coldly looking at him. Turn your head towards Condensed Wang. Kneeling on the ground. I am not your brother either. When I heard him, I was immediately stunned. This person is as hateful as before. But he's really curious about it. How much more bravery is there after all? The snow stopped now kneeling beside me. And his eyes are sad. Most likely, tell her a few words. I can't live anymore. I heard the sound of him suddenly raising his head. Probably the CA. Can you think of any other solution? She closed her eyes waiting to see. I really hope there's a way she can save it. But most likely, they don't want to lie. She slowly shook her head. I like to stop crying immediately. The tears. Constantly falling on the body of the barbarian. Suddenly the Baron opened his eyes. Staring at the eggs. It was burned in the distance. Eyes waiting. The snow is also looking in its direction. Out loud he wants his child. Most likely to come. Bring the eggs next to it. But it also burned black. There's absolutely no sign of life. He shook his head and was burned. There's absolutely no trace of life. Wait, there's not another one. There's another one, maybe there's still hope. Most likely I heard her shake her head. When I found it, there were only 4 of them. There's no more around. The snow stopped, and the 7 heads bowed. I'm sorry I couldn't help you. She just finished. The Baron has revealed an egg. Under its broad wings. Go outside. She stopped looking and immediately rejoiced. I'm most likely looking at the egg under the lightning rod. There are signs of life. Not from feeling. That's why in a dangerous situation, it can still protect one. It uses its own life to protect her children. Suddenly now, the Lord uses a little force. I finally screamed an hour. Head towards the most solid. Give her her last egg. I think it is most likely that people will suddenly speak up. This egg has been burned. Even if it is hatched, it will not live much longer. Unless... Suddenly he thought of something. I wonder if you want to give it to me. The Lord heard what he said and nodded. Then he looked at his comedy for the last time. Be safe to leave. Stop watching it. It can't stand anymore. The more I cry, the more I cry. 82. Most of all, I would like to thank heaven for seeing this, glancing at each other. In my heart for an hour. She was really honest before. But did not expect that. Maybe it's for a beast. It has nothing to do with her. It hurts to this extent. But they're very much against the barons. It's just a little reverence. It will not hurt the salary. This excessive kindness of her, I don't know if it's good or bad. The snowflake knelt in front of the barbarian, crying for half an hour. Most probably I can't see any more. Afraid of her crying so much that she fainted. Speak of comfort to stop. If he dies, he can't come back. Don't be sad. Thank heaven and Yang for hearing that. You are right. I can't believe you've only met the Lord once. Together like that. Hear this word. I stopped wiping away the tears left on my face. I told you not to misunderstand. I cry not for it. I miss home. He risked his life to protect his children. I remember my father. He'll do anything to protect me and take care of me. Mouth of to people. Most likely, it won't shrink a bit. Wasted to people. They thought she loved the bird. Then she's just a love scene. Just remember the family. I don't blame this guy for being so brave. To protect the strident. Probably the most visible. She doesn't care about this bird. Open your mouth and stop hurting yourself. The barbarian's body will be taken away. Thank God for hearing that. Shout out loud. Although the body of a level 6 beast. Why can you be alone? The heir of the 7 kingdoms. Thank heaven that knows. High-class mascot bodies are all treasures. Level 6 animals can also be used to practice medicine. He really values this. Most likely, a glance at him. Casually say, just now, you don't see the Baron entrusting his testimony to me. His body is no exception. So you stay here and take care of the baby. Let's go for a while and come back. The surest thing is to leave. Just left the angry celestial Yang standing there. Thank God for watching him leave. I also want Theo to see what he wants to do. But he doesn't think either. I'm alone in this dangerous place. Let go of the thought of wanting to go and stay. At this point, the world must have gone to a quiet place. Put the egg in your hand and wave it again. The barbarian's body also appeared. Take a look at one. It is most likely to use force on the hand. Soon there was a fire. This is the fire force. There is no fighting power, but it can be used to make gas. That the best of the world of death, taken from the real emperor and other potential longs. Add the body of the beast is fostered by the spirit of heaven and earth. It's possible to train spiritual objects. The body of this egg was severely injured. Must use the spirit of the barbarian to soothe. We can help it grow. Otherwise you will be dead. Want to use spiritual nourishment? You have to use something that can put spirit in. Contains spirit. The Baron is now dead. Just incubate this egg and it'll hatch and become my monster. Help me to get lost. That's why he did it before he died. Let the Baron know.